This week, I want to share with you a topic titled Practicing Mindfulness in a Busy Work Life, based on the wonderful book by Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, Mindfulness at Work: How to Find Joy and Meaning in Every Hour of the Day. The great Goethe once said, "A person with true capability will experience immense joy in the process of working." When you work, do you truly feel joy? Or, in other words, do you possess the true capacity for work? The capacity here refers to the ability to find joy in your work. It's a fact that in today's era, half of a person's life is dedicated to work. But what kind of experiences have we had during this journey of more than half a lifetime? Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh says that work is actually the most wonderful way to reflect your inner self. It can be peace, joy, nourishment, and healing, but it can also be suffering. Many of us constantly feel unhappy, pressured, and frustrated when working. This is because our purpose for working is often skewed. Most people work to earn money, to sustain life, and to feel secure. Many also work to gain social status, to become more famous. And ultimately, money, fame, and status are the very elements representing the power that humans desire to attain. Furthermore, we see power at an even higher level that humanity always covets: strong weapons and armies. In reality, our goal in working is to gain power for ourselves. Many believe that only with power can they do whatever they desire, and only by achieving those things can they find happiness. But in reality, humans have caused too much suffering in the world by trying to obtain and abuse such power. They have always done so because they lack the ability to truly be themselves. Buddhism reveals that there are 3 other kinds of power that bring you happiness. And once you possess them, no matter how immense the power of money, fame, armies, or weapons, they can never destroy these 3 powers. They are understanding, love, and letting go. So how do we acquire these powers so that we can find true freedom and ease in our souls, living and working joyfully in a meaningful life? The only way is to train and cultivate yourself. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh is a global master of mindfulness. Therefore, throughout this book, he aims to teach us a practice that anyone can embrace: mindfulness. Mindfulness means dedicating your full attention to what is happening in the present moment, bringing your mind back to your body, and being fully present in every single moment. The energy mindfulness brings is the power that helps us live fully and develop a meaningful life right here, right now. In many previous videos, I've mentioned the wonderful meaning of mindfulness, but I'm sure many people aren't truly ready to practice it. Through this book, Thich Nhat Hanh, one of the most influential Zen masters in the world, will show you that life is essentially a one-way path. Whether it's for family, career, or any endeavor, you need to cultivate yourself. You don't have to live apart from the mundane world. You can still practice mindfulness, even at work. Every moment in the present is the best opportunity for you to practice, allowing this cultivation itself to help you find true joy and meaning in your work and your life. Don't wait until you have time to start practicing. Many people believe they are too busy with packed schedules each day to practice, or they think they can only seriously engage in mindfulness when they retire. There are also many who constantly divide their time into 2 categories: work time and free time, believing that only after finishing work can they relax, enjoy themselves, and focus on self-cultivation. But you need to understand that these are all mistaken notions. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh tells us that you can absolutely practice mindfulness while working. Working can also be an enjoyment, because practicing mindfulness begins with conscious awareness of your breath, your inhalation and exhalation. Therefore, mindfulness can be practiced anytime, anywhere. Just a few breaths are enough to generate mindfulness energy and bring you back to the present moment. This book isn't heavy on theory, but it offers immense awakening from every small moment of life. What's precious is that it's like a compass, with the great teacher using very simple words to meticulously instruct you on how to practice mindfulness. All you need to do is sit down in silence, read, and listen to the teacher's sincere teachings. Thich Nhat Hanh has spent his entire life telling us that mindfulness is the way to live fully in every single moment. Now, let's delve into the specific methods to help you practice mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness when starting your day. Waking up and opening your eyes is the first step to starting a new day and getting ready for work. However, many people immediately jump up when their alarm rings, frantically grabbing their phones to check for messages. Others open their eyes and immediately think, "Oh, it's today again." Instead of waking up unconsciously or opening your eyes with a complaint, Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh advises you to make the first thing you do each day meaningful by being conscious of your breath, a wonderful gift life has given you. When I wake up, I look up at the green sky, put my hands together, and express gratitude. These are 2 lines of a poem expressing gratitude to begin the day, shared by Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. The Tibetans say we never know which will come first, the next life or tomorrow. You might sleep tonight, but there's no guarantee you'll open your eyes tomorrow. Therefore, if you can still wake up, if you can still breathe and see the blue sky each morning, cherish that moment and immediately practice gratitude. This is the first mindfulness practice of conscious breathing in the day, easy to do after waking up. Don't rush into preparing for work right away. You can make a wish. What should we wish for? Don't think about your ambitious goals, just consider how you want your day to unfold. As a poet, Thich Nhat Hanh particularly enjoys murmuring short verses as gathas when practicing morning mindfulness. Waking up this morning, I smile. 24 brand new hours are before me. I vow to live fully in each moment and to look at all beings with eyes of compassion. For me, rhyming and slightly imagery-rich verses are always easier to remember and more interesting than old chants in my head. Of course, you don't need to memorize them. You can use your own intentions, but it's important to remember and remind yourself that today, I decide to keep 2 things for myself: mindfulness and compassion. That's how I intend to live today. Waking up and getting dressed at this time is also very interesting. In reality, many people just quickly get dressed and leave, not realizing what they're doing when changing clothes. Putting on clothes is also a wonderful opportunity to practice mindfulness. Change your clothes with gratitude. Thank you, tailor. Thank you for the fabric that made this outfit. May everyone have clothes to wear. Even putting on clothes can be an act of compassion. When you change your shirt with such a prayerful mindset, you will find that the meaning of daily dressing becomes very beautiful. It will bring you a gentle, lingering joy. Besides that, I really like the instructions on practicing mindfulness while brushing your teeth. Previously, I only focused on my breath and the action of brushing. But when you combine it with a gatha and mindfulness, you'll feel truly relaxed. I am standing here brushing my teeth. I have toothpaste and a toothbrush. I am happy to still have teeth to brush. My practice is truly free, truly enjoyable, truly the process of brushing. Furthermore, when rinsing your mouth, you need to tell yourself, today I must speak gently and kindly. Today I will treat others with the language of love and not utter words that easily hurt others. When your mouth is fragrant, your heart will blossom. And then, breakfast after brushing your teeth is a core mindfulness practice. Don't just peel an orange and put it in your mouth. Reach out and peel each segment. You need to know that this orange segment contains the sunlight, the earth, and the hard work of the grower. Only then can you truly taste the orange melting in your mouth. When I was at Plum Village, the meditation center founded by Thich Nhat Hanh in France, everyone was always asked to practice 5 contemplations when practicing mindful eating. First, you need to be aware that food contains the entire universe. Even if it's a small piece of bread, it is a gift given to us from this entire universe, from the earth, the sky, from countless living beings, and their loving work. Second, we eat with a sense of gratitude and respect, not wasting this gift. Therefore, determine a sufficient amount for one meal. Third, you eat to transform unwholesome mental behaviors, the most typical here being greed. We often see many people eat terrifyingly fast. They put food in their mouths and cannot stop. Because the stomach reacts slowly, we can easily eat too much without even realizing it. So when eating, remind yourself that you are eating to escape greed, anger, and delusion, so eat moderately. Don't eat until you're too full. Fourth, vow that our eating can alleviate the suffering of sentient beings and protect the earth. Try to eat what is good for the natural environment and reduce the suffering of life in the world. And fifth, we eat this food with the hope of nourishing ourselves so that we can continue to spread love to the community and help more people. When these contemplations help you fully realize the meaning of eating, then eating an act you do your whole life will no longer just be a way to satisfy hunger and fill your stomach. It will gradually nourish within you the power of understanding, love, and letting go of unconscious habits and living consciously with understanding and love in every moment. Next is a very important method, practicing walking meditation and moving mindfully. When you're out and about or on the road, do you know that the most miraculous thing in this world isn't the invention of airplanes, cars, or other means of transport, but that we can be aware of each of our steps? Therefore, after stepping outside, rain or shine, just walk and feel. Don't complain when you encounter a sudden downpour, and don't get annoyed by the scorching heat. When driving, merge as one with your car. When jostled in a crowd, become one with the people around you. We always need to be aware of what our body is doing and how it's moving. This is the core to prevent being endlessly carried away by vague emotions and thoughts while on the road. And don't worry when stuck in traffic. We know clearly that even if we get irritable and impatient, it won't make us move faster. So, just calmly practice awareness of your breath. At this moment, you will feel much more at ease. Or even if you are irritable, being aware that you are annoyed is also wonderful. Then, follow your breath, and soon you will escape the anger of your small ego. Then, we officially step into work hours. How to practice mindfulness throughout the work process? Thich Nhat Hanh doesn't demand that you maintain mindfulness in every single thing. Ordinary people cannot do this. Moreover, when you focus on the task at hand, it's very difficult to constantly be aware of your breath. However, Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh has shown the best way to cultivate. Occasionally stop for 1 to 2 seconds and become aware of your breath. And during breaks, find a space where you can breathe, an office, for example, a small corner for a quiet moment to drink a cup of coffee, gaze into the distance, or connect with a green space in mindfulness. Another way is to enjoy sitting. Many of us have very low-energy working postures, hunching, curling up, propping feet on chairs, resting hands on chins, and so on. Thich Nhat Hanh says to sit upright like the Buddha, and by sitting this way while working, you can also enjoy the process of steadfastness. Furthermore, when walking from one place to another in the office, or when just arriving at your workspace, also maintain mindfulness. Breathing in, left foot steps out. Breathing out, right foot steps forward. Don't let your feet just move unconsciously. Thich Nhat Hanh has a very beautiful practice that always pulls me into the present. The left foot says, "I have arrived." The right foot says, "I am home." What is home? Here, many of us never consider the office or places outside our house with our bed as home. But with mindfulness, anywhere you set foot can be called home. Returning home is returning to yourself. When you are conscious of this, every destination will no longer be distant. It will always be right there with every step you take. Then, it's time for lunch. This is also an important time, just like maintaining mindfulness during breakfast. You need to always be aware that your body truly doesn't need to eat a lot. Eat just enough and avoid eating while fiddling with your phone. Another mindfulness method we often overlook is when going to the restroom. You know, in English, a restroom is a place of rest, and in French, it means a place of comfort. Practice mindfulness and experience even this process. Next is a method I think many people need to practice: phone meditation. Do you realize that many times we answer the phone carrying our emotions? For example, if you're annoyed and hastily pick up, your voice will immediately betray your anger. So Thich Nhat Hanh advises us that no matter what emotions we have, slowly take 2 to 3 breaths, not too long, then pick up the phone and answer. Another important thing is that many people always face pressure and frustration from work. Thich Nhat Hanh says that we often feel pressured and insecure at work, but can feel comfortable and relaxed in nature. This is because amidst trees and surrounding nature, nature never judges us. A flower has no such fear. It grows in a garden full of flowers, accepting itself as it is and not asking to become any other flower. We humans are completely the opposite. The reason we feel pressured and insecure at work is because we don't feel acknowledged. We are hesitant to express ourselves, but when we try to prove ourselves and still aren't recognized, it's easy to feel sad. Therefore, if you suddenly feel pressured or have a conflict with a colleague, or your boss is unhappy with you, learn from a flower at this moment. Imagine yourself as that flower, conscious of the fear and dissatisfaction within you. In reality, you are in a race with yourself. You don't need to please anyone unexpectedly. As Inamori Kazuo once said, "Don't look too far, do well everything in the present within your grasp. That is enough." Furthermore, if you feel too tired during lunch break and have nowhere to sleep, you can also relax your body and mind by sitting upright, taking a few deep breaths, then starting to imagine your toes, then all parts of your body, beginning to relax each one. This process is a very good way to maintain mindfulness and release pressure within you. Besides that, Thich Nhat Hanh shared a method to dissolve anger using 3 phrases. I think this method is particularly valuable. The first phrase, "Dear colleague friend, I am in pain, I am upset, and I hope you understand how I feel." This statement is for you to connect and take responsibility, not to suppress your emotions. The second phrase, "I am doing my best to transform my feelings." This means you are practicing mindful breathing and will not act or speak excessively due to anger. It conveys respect to the other person. The third phrase, "Please help me because I cannot resolve this anger alone." I have tried my best. Can you take another step and talk more specifically? If, after 24 hours, the anger hasn't subsided and you cannot transform it yourself, asking for help is good for you and your relationship with the other person. These three phrases are very similar to the method in the book Nonviolent Communication that I once shared. Nonviolent communication means not suppressing pain, courageously telling the other person, "I am truly angry, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I need." However, in reality, being able to utter these three phrases is incredibly difficult for many people. Because when you say them, you have to let go of pride, abandon the iron warrior within your ego. Only when you can speak these three gentle and constructive words will anger not become an obsession or pressure within you. Here, you don't have to say exactly what the teacher says, but you can say it in your own way, as long as all three ideas are present. And after asking for help, if the other person asks what you need help with, discuss the conflict and methods to find a solution. If you can't speak, you can write it down. Or if the other person is uncooperative, aggressive, or walks away, you don't need to worry about their attitude. At least you have taken the first step to express your own feelings, and you are being yourself. Additionally, there's a way to organize a meeting in mindfulness. Here's a particularly interesting aspect of the teacher's meeting facilitation. Before each meeting begins, he asks everyone to sit silently and listen to the sound of the bell or wooden block, no matter how tired the sound might be. The meeting facilitator places a bell or a wooden block on the table. After everyone sits down, the chair strikes it, and upon hearing the sound, everyone sits silently and begins the meeting. During the meeting, remind yourself to use the language of love and truly listen, meaning you shouldn't arbitrarily judge others throughout the process. Not use unpleasant language, speak more gently, and be ready to respect and accept others' perspectives. Stephen Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, has a method similar to what the teacher shared. Don't easily interrupt the other person. Use the right to speak during discussions. What is the right to speak? For example, in a family meeting, whoever holds the chopsticks gets to speak, and when they finish, they pass the chopsticks to the next person. No one interrupts anyone. If you use the right to speak in a meeting, you will find it more effective. Sometimes people argue not because of major differences in opinion, but because they feel you don't respect them and are always interrupting. And finally, listen to all parties to reach a consensus. These are all the things Thich Nhat Hanh teaches you about how to conduct a meeting in mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness when returning home. After a day of work, you return home. This is also a very good opportunity to practice mindfulness. With mindfulness, each return home will no longer just be about stepping into your house, but truly returning home, returning to your present self. Thich Nhat Hanh says, "If a king doesn't govern his kingdom, what will become of it? You are the king in your own kingdom. Yet, you often don't want to take care of your own home. You scroll through your phone, play games, listen to music, watch too much TV. You've used many different ways to distract yourself internally. You're not ready to take care of your kingdom. At this point, you haven't truly returned to yourself. There are fathers and mothers who, upon returning home, spend very little time with their children. Many just hand their children an iPad, turn on the TV for them, give them toys to play with, and then sit aside on their phones, thinking they are accompanying their children. But this isn't presence. At this moment, you are like a king who is not home. This king is out hunting, doing other pastimes, and not managing his kingdom. If you want to be a responsible king, dedicate specific, focused, conscious time to play with your children or watch them play, knowing they are happy. Or talk with your spouse, clean the room together. If you are single, the way to return to your own home is to do what you need to do and focus on feeling that single moment in the present. This is the true meaning of being present in your home, allowing you to return to yourself. Another thing Thich Nhat Hanh also hopes we can do is reserve a spot for our breath. If you have a little space, arrange a small, clean corner where you can sit down quietly and let mindfulness bring you home. By now, your day has ended. we can reflect on the three powers people strive to achieve through work, money, fame, and competition. Without mindfulness, you will still completely exhaust yourself day and night for these powers. It might be promotions, salary increases, sales targets, or earning a lot of money, but these things will never be enough. Through a series of mindfulness practices throughout the day, I hope you can realize that we need to go to work to cultivate ourselves and gain three other powers that are far greater and truly meaningful to you: understanding, love, and letting go. With mindfulness, you will truly understand what you are doing, what emotions you are experiencing, and from that, you will understand yourself and others. With mindfulness, love and compassion will arise. Anger, disappointment, or pressure will no longer be what causes you suffering, and you will know how to maintain good relationships with your colleagues. That means understanding the difficulties of others and knowing how to resolve disputes with love. With mindfulness, you can let go of the greed, anger, and delusion within you, not craving what you don't have. Some people say that letting go means there will be no struggle, nothing to pursue. But in reality, when you can let go, you will receive more than everything you desire. For those who practice meditation, they clearly understand Festinger's law. When you try to resist 10% of things, 90% of life's troubles will occur. Therefore, maintain mindfulness so that your wisdom lets go of what is unnecessary. Finally, there is one more thing we need to discuss. Many people think that if they practice mindfulness, they will no longer care about benefits and profits in work. Thich Nhat Hanh believes that, in the process of working, profit must naturally be earned. But the most important thing is that profit must not be exchanged for happiness. Think about it. How many of our jobs are paid for with our own happiness? Some people stay up late to meet deadlines. Some always have to drink and socialize to expand relationships and sign contracts. Some have to use unethical means to earn profit. When you return to yourself, you will know that you can go to work to earn profit, but profit must be a byproduct. We shouldn't simply work chasing money and benefits as our life's goal, but also discover the meaning of our profession, find a job where we can create value, and then work hard at it. When you see your contributions to society, joy will blossom within you, and you will find it easier to stay committed and persevere in your work. All sentient beings possess the complete virtues and wisdom of a Tathagata, but because of their illusory thoughts and attachments, they have not yet realized it. That is what Thich Nhat Hanh ultimately wants to tell all of us. You are inherently a Buddha. You are a Buddha sitting at the dining table. You are a Buddha sitting in the office. You are a Buddha driving on the road. You are a Buddha when you return home. You will always be able to keep your life in mindfulness. When you let go of illusions and attachments, even for just a few breaths, you can experience your pure, joyful, and meaningful essence right now. That is also the process of becoming a Buddha. I hope we all understand that even if you don't ordain, you can still cultivate yourself to a new level of life, and mindfulness is the way to help you return home, return to yourself.